What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Team USA wasn't the only, country to win some gold, ladies and gentlemen, or at least to win, a tournament. It looks like one of the Bulls players actually won a Drew League tournament as well, and his name is Dalen Terry. Now look, I can't tell you I know much about the Drew League. I don't know much about the Drew League. I know DeMar DeRozan competed in it last year. I know that DeMar DeRozan competed in it this year. And ultimately, I don't necessarily know the point of it. I don't know why it happens every year. I'll be honest, put my hands up. But a Bulls player did win it. So I want to talk about it. And a former Bulls player won it as well. So I want to talk about it. And we'll discuss the importance of it for the Bulls. If there really is one, we'll just discuss everything we can in this video. But before we get any further, if you liked the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls player in Dalen Terry winning the Drew League tournament, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, Dalen Terry. And ultimately, all I can say is this is just a good warm-up and a good off-season for Dalen Terry. That's all it really comes down to. Now, of course, it feels good to win. And you always want to win any tournament you're in. I don't care what type of tournament it is. I don't care how much it pays to play in that tournament. To me, if I was an NBA player, at least, that is the most irrelevant thing I can think of at this point in time. Of course, it's nice to secure some money, but you always have that competitive edge, and you want to bring that competitive edge to every tournament that you're in. And Dalen Terry, in my opinion, has that type of character where he's always going to bring his energy and his motivation to each and every single game that he plays, whether it's the NBA or whether it's something else. And in this case, it was the Drew League. He played a big part of it. Ultimately, he didn't play the biggest part because the person we'll probably talk about next did. But playing a role in a winning team is always a nice feeling. And what it means for the Bulls is that you're going to get a Dalen Terry that's been working hard in the offseason, constant training videos we have seen, constant highlight packages we have seen. Obviously, we've seen him now win in the Drew League. Congratulations to him. And it's just a good preparation for training camp and for the preseason. Does it mean much more than that? Ultimately, no. At the end of the day, every single player goes through their off-season differently. Some people will compete in tournaments like the Drew League. Other people will just stick to their own circles, play 5v5 against their own, teammates, or 5v5 against the people that they trust. It doesn't necessarily mean much, in my opinion, in the grand scheme of things. But if we look at Dalen Terry and he has a strong preseason training camp, and maybe starts off the regular season strongly as well, you might be able to look back at this moment here and all the moments beforehand, and you could maybe understand why. So congratulations to Dalen Terry. Now, a former Bulls player also won, same team and all, and it's a player that we all know well, very, very well. His name is DeMar DeRozan. I mentioned it earlier in the video. DeMar DeRozan did end up competing in the Drew League this season, and he absolutely killed it in that last game. Now, Dalen Terry's stats are hard to find. DeMar DeRozan's last game is not that hard to find whatsoever. He had about 54 points in that game, took over, and they actually came back from a pretty large deficit within the last 5 minutes. So DeMar DeRozan showing his clutch factor even in the Drew League, ladies and gentlemen, and he did help Dalen Terry win the competition, win the Drew League. That's all you could really say in that standpoint. What does that mean for the Bulls? Well, it's good to see that Dalen Terry and DeMar DeRozan are still in close contact with each other, still communicating. The one thing I've always said about DeMar DeRozan is that I think he could be a very, very impactful player for the young guys. And the one thing I hope we don't ever see is DeMar DeRozan lose contact with guys like Kobe White, lose contact with guys like Patrick Williams, lose contact with guys like Dalen Terry. Because even though he's no longer on the team, he's in Sacramento, he's probably in a better environment to compete, and he's probably very happy with his current situation. There's still a lot of young players that look up to him as their mentor in terms of the basketball space. And I don't want that relationship to break down between the Bulls and DeMar DeRozan. No matter what happens, even if DeMar DeRozan drops 54 on the Bulls one night, it could happen. You just don't know. I still want that relationship between DeRozan and those players to be there, because he can still teach a lot of skills and ability and even some of his knowledge up there to those young guys that oh so desperately will need it for this upcoming season. And that is always a good thing. But it also shows, in my opinion, what we could be missing with DeMar DeRozan. I think a lot of people expect DeMar DeRozan to leave the Bulls and the Bulls to be just fine. To see the Bulls kind of be the exact same. I don't know if you know this, ladies and gentlemen, but we are losing our go-to bucket getter. We are losing a player. We have lost a player that at the end of the day, when things weren't going right, and we needed to bail someone out, you know, someone had to bail us out of a run or whatever the case may be, DeMar DeRozan was that guy. So yeah, you might be losing some isolation. Yeah, you might be losing a little bit of, I guess, you know, maybe the lack of ball movement or whatever the case may be. But you're also losing, in my opinion, our go-to bucket getter. We don't have that guy in the fourth quarter now, unless Kobe White could develop into that, of course. We don't have that guy in the fourth quarter that could just simply take over a game in the blink of an eye. We don't have someone that could bail us out constantly each and every single night. We just don't have that. And at the end of the day, I think that's going to be the biggest miss for DeMar DeRozan that we'll probably see. And that is simply, when we need a bucket, we might not be able to go and get one. Maybe we'll go on long droughts where we go on 20, 30, 40, maybe not 40, but still, you know, runs and stuff of that nature, you know, 20-point runs that we see the other team kind of put on us. And I think DeMar DeRozan is the type of player that can stop stuff like that. We are losing that type of player. And ultimately, again, we are losing a player that finished second in the Clutch Player of the Year category behind one of the greatest players to ever play this game, Stephen Curry. So that's a pretty big, I guess, player that we're going to be missing. And I don't think the Bulls are just going to be okay with that situation. I just don't think that's going to be the case. But hopefully, new brand of basketball, new players in the team, maybe we can see something different. But again, I just think it's on the safer side to assume we're going to get a whole lot worse with no DeMar DeRozan. Even Alex Caruso, we're going to get a whole lot worse. But do you guys agree? And of course, congratulations to DeMar DeRozan as well. Congratulations to DeRozan. Congratulations to Dalen Terry. If there's any other Bulls player that played in this tournament that won and I missed it, well, congratulations to them too. But it's time for me to end the video. Thank you for watching. Drop a like and a follow and or subscribe if you are new. And I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.